All right, so we in here. I'm the Shock Exchange. This is Trump and the GE, of course. We're asking people to subscribe to the channel, like and share the video so we can spread the information and spread our channel. We know people are interacting with the video, so we're asking people to subscribe to the channel. This is on Young Thug YSL trial. Witness accuses Fani Willis, investigator, of sexual harassment. And Fani Willis is making a name for herself. She's probably one of the most well-known DAs in the country. She's the DA of Fulton County, Georgia, where Atlanta is located, and they get active down in Atlanta. Apparently, she used RICO statutes to bring charges against some teachers and some students in Atlanta public high schools in a cheating scandal years ago. That's how she made a name for herself. Now she's the DA of Fulton County. She's bringing RICO charges against Donald Trump, Rudolph Giuliani, and several other defendants in a case involving election interference. That's probably the most talked about case in the country, and it may have legs. Looks like they're going to trial down in Fulton County. And lesser known is a RICO case she has against the rapper Young Thug and the YSL group that she's calling a gang. She's bringing RICO charges against Trump, of course, as well. But in the Young Thug trial, she's claiming that YSL is a gang. The case has been going on for I think a year now, and is expected to end around 2024. It's using a lot of resources in Atlanta and Fulton County, using up a lot of taxpayers' resources, and they're saying the case is so large and voluminous and complicated that it's hard to swallow. It's hard for the court system to swallow. They may have to start having court on weekends just to keep the case on schedule and to speed things up. That said, is one of the witnesses in the case recently said that an investigator in the DA's office, in Fani Willis' office, sexually harassed her. And so I'm going to show a video from Young Thug's defense attorney trying to expose the sexual harassment allegations and trying to expose the text messages between the investigator and a witness in the case, if you can believe that. So I'm going to try to share my screen. This is this video, we're going with this video for critique and commentary purposes only. So it's fair use. Thank you.
Okay. You recall that I came back there with Mr. Steele, gentleman back there with the grayish white hair, Mr. Matthews, this gentleman right here with the very gray hair, right? And Miss Westmoreland. Yeah.
I'll sustain that objection.
At least you got here. And Miss Westmoreland, you remember that?
Yes, sir.
We had a chance to talk yesterday, isn't that right?
Yes.
And when we were back there, we talked about the communications that you'd had with the district attorney's office, right?
Yes.
Now, you also remember that after you came out, you were asked some questions by the assistant district attorney, Ms. Love. Is that right?
Yes.
You remember her asking you at one point, are you afraid of Jeffrey Williams? You remember that question?
Yes.
And then she may not have said Jeffrey Williams. She may have said, are you afraid of Thug? You remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And your answer was no. Is that right?
Yes.
You have no reason and had no reason to be afraid of Jeffrey Williams. Is that right?
No, I don't.
Okay. In fact, when you testified yesterday, you were on edge. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
You didn't want to be here.
Yes.
And part of it is because of the interactions, and your reaction yesterday was based on the interactions you had, not with Mr. Williams or anyone over here, but with the district attorney's office. Isn't that true?
Yes.
You told us when you were back there that they had been, quote, harassing you for a number of months. Is that true?
Yes.
And in fact, you said that prior to coming out and testifying, that the only person you were afraid of, you didn't want to be around, was Investigator Hamilton from the district attorney's office. Is that true?
Yes.
And
Okay, right here, this is important because the defense attorney is really smart here. He's making it seem like she's not afraid of Young Thug or anybody in the YSL group, so he's making them look less menacing to the jurors and making the DA's office look menacing and making the investigator look menacing. So she's on trial saying she's more afraid of the investigator than she is of maybe anybody involved in the case.
you're saying that to us, and then your testimony subsequent to that was based on the interactions that you had with Mr. Hamilton. Isn't that right?
Objection, Your Honor, Page, as to the question.
I sustain the objection.
Okay. Mr. Hamilton had contacted you prior to yesterday. Is that right?
Yes.
He would call you from time to time. True?
Objection, vague.
What is, can I have some,
I'll hold the objection.
Yes.
let me just ask you the question, okay? Mr. Hamilton had harassed you. Is that correct?
Yes.
In fact, you told us when you were back there that you didn't want to come out and see him because he had sexually harassed you. True?
Yes.
You felt like, and you told us, that you were really concerned about coming
Your
out
Honor,
here.
I'm going to object
Cases.
as to relevance.
I'm gonna hold the objection.
You told us that the times when he would contact you, it seemed like he was trying to date you.
Yes.
In your interaction with, and then Mr. Hamilton, you actually met with him at different locations. Is that right?
Yes. I met him at a restaurant.
Japanese restaurant off of Moreland Avenue
Yes.
a couple months ago.
Maybe I think February.
Okay. He wanted to meet you, supposedly to talk about the case,
Yes.
but he wanted to meet you by yourself.
Yes.
You did not feel comfortable with the interactions you've been having with the district attorney's office, and so you brought your 20-year-old son along with you.
Yes.
Any questions?
So, Your Honor, if you just have him break it up so we'll know what she's answered.
All right, I'll break it up. You didn't feel comfortable going to meet him by yourself.
Nope.
Because you didn't feel comfortable going to meet him by yourself, you brought your 20-year-old son with you.
Yes.
Was that before or after you met with Mr. Hamilton and he told you, don't talk to nobody else?
That was after. He told me before that. I came in, I seen Miss Love, and that's when I told y'all yesterday that me and Miss Love, we only discussed for a brief because they was like trying to tip me, and that's when I went to talk to him and a couple of more people from their team that I don't see right now, and then he ended up getting me by himself and asking me to give him my number and that he's gonna contact me and that I ain't need to speak with no one else. And if they contact me, do not answer or speak to them. Only him.
Okay. He told you that he would like to take you out when this was all over, didn't he?
Yes.
And then he's, as far as you know, he is an investigator, law enforcement investigator for the DA's office, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is crazy. I don't purport to be any expert on court proceedings, but seems like highly irregular behavior. It seems like highly unprofessional for the investigator to try to invite one of the witnesses out on a date and to use his influence to trade for sex. She's clearly said he's harassing her. He's afraid of her, more afraid of her than he is of anybody involved in the case. And it looks like you have an aggressive prosecutor. If he's being aggressive with, I mean, the jury could possibly make the leap that if the investigator is being aggressive with the witness, who's going to say he's not being aggressive with Young Thug or the other defendants and bringing this case and trying to bring this case to trial? Who's to say he's just not out running around like some loose cannon, or the DA's office running around like some loose cannon, bringing cases with no evidence? If they're aggressive with a witness like that, with something that doesn't involve, and nothing to do with Young Thug or the trial, who's to say they are aggressive with defendants? So it look like a bunch of loose cannons running around doing stuff and they're unprofessional, and they're more about the accoutrements of the office than they are about providing a fair and impartial trial for the defendants. So this is seems to be part and parcel of the behavior in that DA's office. So, for instance, the DA, Ms. Fani Willis, Trump had previously accused her of dating one of the defendants and the co-founder of YSL. He accused her of dating one of the co-founders of YSL, and that may be where she could be getting some of the information from on the case, or maybe what motivated her to bring this case to trial to begin with. She's been accused of, in the case against Trump, of dating the special prosecutor, Nathan Wade. He paid her, her office paid him about almost $800,000 to act as a special prosecutor on the case. I understand of the three, guest prosecutors, he had the least experience in terms of federal cases. He had never really tried a federal case before, even though they had a RICO expert working on the case as well. And he got paid. I think the other two lawyers got paid about $180,000. He got $750,000, almost $800,000, and they accused her of dating the guy and him using the $750,000 to help fund her lavish lifestyle. And so she was getting kickbacks, according to the defendants. She was getting kickbacks from having hired him and having overpaid him for services he had not rendered. And it's clear that they were actually dating. And so it just looks like it's just a pattern of behavior from Fani Willis and now from this investigator, where it looks like they're using their influence in the DA's office and funds from taxpayers to trade for sex. This is all a gimmick to feed some sexual appetite. That you're bringing these, you get these people who work for you to trade for sex, and you get these witnesses into the spin cycle, and then try to squeeze them. Offer them something, or as a way to date some of the witnesses, which seems highly inappropriate. And I'm not sure if this guy, this investigator Hamilton, has been fired yet. I don't know if he's still at the DA's office, but if he is, it looks kind of suspicious. At the end of the day, how is this relevant? How is this relevant to the case? You saw that the DA's office tried to object to this line of questioning with the witness, and the judge let it go on. But how is this relevant? The point is that the judge, this defense attorney, is trying to get his clients off any way he can. If he can prejudice the jury against the DA's office, he will. If he can make the DA's office look unprofessional, if he can make them look like they're basically trading, using their influence and resources from the DA's office to trade for sex, he will. If he can make them look unprofessional, he will. If he can make this case look like a sham case brought against these defendants by aggressive prosecutors who are unprofessional and would try to indict a ham sandwich, if it could be a way for them to get sexual favors from employees or witnesses, they'll do it. His job is to get his clients off, and he will any way he can. If he can prejudice the jury against the DA's office, he will. I think he did an excellent job of making an investigator and probably the DA's office look highly unprofessional. Whether Young Thug and YSL did what they were accused of, I'm not sure, but we'll soon find out, I guess. But ultimately, the defense attorney did a good job of trying to prejudice the jury against the prosecutors. And one way to stop this behavior is for the investigator, DA's office, don't date the special prosecutor. Don't overpay the special prosecutor who you're dating. And don't try to date witnesses. You can at least wait till the trial's over. So that's Trump and the G. Thank you for listening. Thank you.